Hello, this is Xbox Ahoy, and this is the bonus footage for the third episode of Time to Kill, the Hipfire episode. And because, again, I've got 20 minutes of footage, I'm going to split this one into two parts. So you've got two more digestible chunks of 10 minutes each. As for the format, I'm going to stick to the sort of the question answering format, because I actually quite like doing that, and it provides a fairly good prompt for doing an otherwise unscripted commentary. So, right from the top, let's start with, this is one of the more recent comments, actually. Byron XX asks, "Hey Stuart, where is your Hipfire bonus footage?" And it's, well, it's right here, isn't it? Yes, it's late. I know I said I was thinking about doing a weekly schedule for Time to Kill, but that kind of went by the wayside. It's been a busy month. I've had a whole bunch of stuff crop up. It's just been one of those years. I had a terrible start to 2012. A whole bunch of stuff just went wrong all in the same week. My boiler went kaput, my washing machine had the same fate, and it turns out my cat needs surgery. So yeah, I've been to the vets a number of times. I've spent 2 weeks without any sort of hot water or heating, which was nice. And I've been working on other stuff as well. I've been catching up on other projects. I've rekindled my web development side of things. I've actually started a web project, which might be interesting to some of you guys, but I'll talk about that when it's in a state close to completion. So that's what I've been doing. It's just a whole bunch of sorting out of things, and I've been busy on video stuff as well. I've started the planning for Behind the Lines. I thought, well, if I'm not going to do weekly videos, I might as well invest some time into the next episode of Behind the Lines. So there has been some movement there. It's going to be a couple more weeks at least before we see that come to fruition, but I think, yeah, I am going to push ahead with the next episode of that. It does take a lot of time, but yeah, I reckon I can do it now. Might as well. You know, I've got everything, I've got all the props, I've got the weapon in question, I've started to plan the script now, and I've been reading some of my research material. And yeah, I'm going to move ahead and get that done. But I'm also going to do, obviously, Time to Kill 4 is going to come fairly soon. I'm going to start recording footage for that as soon as I've cleared these two commentaries, in fact. Which will be probably this weekend. I'll start recording then. And get all the footage I need in a day or so. And then split the footage, and then it's just a matter of writing the script, preparing the graphics, and producing it, which is maybe another couple of days' work. So I'm going to say tentatively by the start of next week we should have Time to Kill 4. It might be a little bit delayed depending on what else I'm doing, but no matter. What's important is that I'm doing something. Anyway, on to the remaining questions. Grim X Shadow 09, amongst a few other people actually, asked the same question. You bought MW3 4 times. I kind of want to know why. Well, all right. I actually pre-ordered it twice. Right back in the day for the Xbox. I thought, well, I don't want to get screwed over by a bad delivery, so just to make sure I get it on launch day, I'm gonna order it twice. Not a big deal, you know, 2 copies, and it's gonna be sort of a major income for my channel anyway, so it's nice to have a backup copy. So I thought, yeah, no problem, I'll order it twice. So I did. And it turns out that both came on the same day, of course. But that's by the by. What also happened is I had the opportunity to get it at midnight release. So I did that just to get the first Weapon Guide Express out pretty quickly. So that's 3 copies. And then it was around about the same time as I was doing Time to Kill, the first episode. I needed a high-resolution screenshot of the dome for the intro sequence. So I thought, well, I could capture that on PC. My monitors are 2560 by 1600 res, which is, you know, plentiful for my needs. So I thought if I bought it on PC, I could take screenshots at that res, and I'd be able to have nice high-res screenshots to work with. And so I bought it for the 4th time. So there you go. That's why I bought MW3 4 times. Bought it for the Xbox 3 times, on the PC once. And I did sell one of the Xbox copies, so it's not all bad. So now I have 2 copies for the Xbox. You know, one's my main copy, one's a spare. Which isn't too bad. I mean, that's considering the fact that I need MW3 to produce these videos, it's, yeah, just by the by, isn't it? Really, I should have got 3 copies, but, well, I just didn't, which is a shame. No matter, and on to the next question. What is that? MC Al Capone? Oh, yes, that's right, yeah. I thought it was like alpaca. No, it's MC Al Capone asks, Xbox Ahoy, did you have to lie when doing the weapon guides for Elite? In the KSG-12 review, you used words like consistent, reliable, powerful, which is, anyone who's used the KSG for any period of time knows that is a flat-out lie. Well, at the time of doing the shotgun guides, I knew the shotguns weren't going to be dominant weapons. I knew they were less effective than the SMGs and the assault rifles. So when I talk about consistency, I guess I'm kind of talking in relative terms. But one thing you do have to remember is that I had access to every single attachment, every single proficiency right from the start. And so I was using damage right out of the gate. And I think for the KSG, I might have been using extended mags as well. Which obviously means I was benefiting from the extended mags glitch. And I have to be honest, the KSG, with extended mags, with damage, was a consistent killing shotgun. It was my least favourite shotgun. I didn't really like it. But, I mean, the purpose of the weapon guide isn't to slag off the weapons in question. You do have to sort of talk about the weapon strengths. And of all the shotguns, the KSG probably has reasonably... It's got the best consistency of all of them. It's also got a slow fire rate, which means your first shot has to count, but... yeah, statistically it is relatively consistent. I know it's not a good weapon. I mean, I'm pretty sure I said to them, you know, the KSG, it's terrible. But I'm not responsible for weapon balance, and, well, it's up to Infinity Ward, isn't it? And shotguns are really tricky to balance. They really are, because people hate dying to single-shot weapons, like sniper rifles and shotguns, so you don't want to make them too effective, because people will just complain about them non-stop. So, to the question, I wasn't told to lie, of course not, it's just, I gotta kind of play to the strengths of the weapon, and it becomes harder to do when the weapon has fewer strengths, simple as that. Okay, next question. Theatre Retarger asks, Xbox Ahoy, please read! I've already asked this in another video, but you didn't answer, so I'm going to ask again. Are you using a modded controller? Your trigger finger with the USP-45 is pretty fast. I'm not hating on you or anything, I was just wondering. God, the goddamn modded controller question. Every single time I do a video on a pistol, on a sniper rifle, anything that's semi-automatic, people always say, oh, he's just using a modded controller. No. I have never used a modded controller. I don't need to use a modded controller. My fingers function perfectly, thank you very much. So no modded controllers on any of these things, no. Look, I guess I've had practice, you know, from video games over the years. I mean, it started out with Daley Thompson's Decathlon Super Test or whatever it was on the ZX Spectrum. You basically have to bash keys very quickly. You know. But no modded controller. Sorry about that. But every single video I get asked the same bloody question. Alright, next question. This will be the last one, actually, because we're coming up to the end of this 10-minute segment. Okay, sub for me means sub for you. Nice username. Asks, well, that's not even a question. We need more beverage guides. Alright, I'll do another beverage guide, I promise. I don't know what it will be on, I don't know when it will be, but alright. I'll do another one. It was fun to make. Yeah, give me a month or so. I'll push another one out, make a playlist for them, and all the rest of it. Alright then, it's a deal. Well, that's it for those clips. Well, I've got another batch of 10 minutes. I'll record those now, actually. Although I might save it to upload tomorrow, for instance, just, you know, to give you something to look forward to. In any case, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the second part of these clips. Until then, farewell.